Every morning, somewhere in Montecito, California, a woman wakes up and does something that has nothing to do with royal titles, Netflix deals, lifestyle brands, or palace politics. She makes breakfast. She does school drop-off. She shops at the local toy store for Easter basket treats. She watches ducklings cross her driveway. She climbs into bed at night and, before she sleeps, opens her phone and writes an email to her children. Not to send now, to send later, when they are 16 or 18 years old. Emails they do not know exist yet, full of every moment she wanted to capture, every achievement she was proud of, every ordinary Tuesday she never wanted to forget. This is not the Meghan Markle of the headlines. This is not the Duchess at the center of royal controversies, business struggles, media feuds, and palace politics. This is Meghan as a mother. And tonight, for the first time on this channel, we are telling that story. Not the brand story, not the palace story, not the controversy story. The story of two children, Archie, 7 years old, and Lilibet, 5 years old, who are growing up in California with a mother who, by every documented account, has made them the most important thing in her life. And the remarkable, complicated, genuinely moving story of how Meghan Markle is trying to give her children the childhood she never had, while raising them in the middle of the most scrutinized family situation on earth. This is Royal Report Daily, and tonight, this story is about the mother behind everything else. Welcome to Royal Report Daily, your #1 destination for real royal news, verified investigations, and the stories the palace doesn't want you to find. I'm your host, and if you are new here, subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because what we cover on this channel, you will not find anywhere else. Every single week, we go deeper, we go further, and we go to places the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. Tonight is one of those nights. Let's get into it. Let us start with the emails, because this is the detail that, more than anything else Meghan has ever said publicly about her children, tells you something real and unguarded about who she is as a mother. In an interview on the Jamie Kern-Lima show, Meghan revealed something she had never spoken about before. Since the day Archie was born, and then from the day Lilibet arrived, she has been writing emails to both of her children. Not texts, not notes in a journal. Emails, addressed to them, about specific moments, specific days, specific things they said or did that she never wants to lose. She described what she plans to do with those emails with a warmth that is impossible to manufacture. She said, "They will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you for your whole life. And here's everything and every moment that I wanted to tell you how much I love you and how proud I am of you." Think about that for a moment. Not a public statement, not a brand moment. A private act of love that Meghan chose to share publicly because it captures something true about what motherhood means to her. The emails exist. The children do not know about them yet. And one day, when they are old enough, they will open a digital archive of their mother's love and find years of ordinary moments that she thought were worth keeping. That is not the woman described in the tabloids. That is just a mother who is afraid of forgetting. If you want to understand Meghan as a mother, really understand it, subscribe to Royal Report Daily right now. Because what comes next is the story of how these two children are actually growing up. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is 7 years old. He was born on May 6, 2019 at the Portland Hospital in London. He spent his first year of life traveling the world with his parents, a royal tour of South Africa, appearances in Canada, the early months of what was supposed to be a royal childhood. Then, in January 2020, everything changed. Harry and Meghan stepped back. The family relocated first to Canada, then to Montecito, California. And Archie's world became something entirely different. Not a palace, not a royal estate. Montecito, a small, wealthy, carefully private community in Santa Barbara County where, Meghan has said, the locals have embraced and protected her family's desire for a normal life. In a 2022 interview with The Cut, Meghan described what normal means in practical terms. She said that in the UK, she would not be able to do school pickup and drop-off without a swarm of photographers snapping pictures. She said, "Sorry, I have a problem with that. That does not make me obsessed with privacy. That makes me a strong and good parent protecting my child." In Montecito, she can do that pickup. She can walk into a toy store, as she was photographed doing in April 2026, buying Magic Rabbit playing cards and sea monkeys for Easter baskets, without it becoming an international incident. That ordinary freedom, to simply be a mother buying toys for her children on a Tuesday afternoon, is something Meghan has described as one of the most important things California has given her family. And Harry, photographed in a gray girl dad t-shirt playing football with Archie on a grassy field in family photos Meghan shared in June 2026, appears to have found it too. Harry told Good Morning America in 2024 with unmistakable warmth, "The kids are doing great. They are growing up like all kids do, very, very fast. They both have an incredible sense of humor and make us laugh and keep us grounded every single day. I am just grateful to be a dad." Like this video right now if this side of Meghan's story is one you have rarely seen told honestly. And subscribe to Royal Report Daily, because what comes next is about the little girl carrying the most significant name in this entire story. Princess Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor was born on June 4, 2021 in Santa Barbara, California. She is 5 years old, and her name is the most personal statement Meghan and Harry have ever made. Lilibet, the private childhood nickname that Queen Elizabeth II carried her entire life, used only by those closest to her, including Prince Philip, until the very end. And Diana, the name of the mother Harry lost at 12 years old, the woman whose absence has shaped every decision he has made since. These are not casual choices. These are declarations of love for a grandmother, of grief for a mother, of hope that the next generation might carry something forward from the women who came before them. Meghan spoke about Lilibet, whom the family affectionately call Lily, in January 2026 at the Sundance Film Festival, where she attended the premiere of Cookie Queens, a documentary about the Girl Scouts. She described her daughter with 2 words that told you everything. She called her a strong lady. She said she hoped Lily would be able to watch and enjoy the film as she grows. And she spoke about the bond she and the film's director, Alyssa Namias, had formed as mothers of daughters, saying it had been incredibly special as parents, as mothers, to see something their girls will be able to enjoy. Lilibet's face has not been shown publicly in any photos Meghan has shared on Instagram. Archie's face has not been shown either. In every photograph Meghan posts, at Disneyland, in the garden, on Mother's Day with the children climbing what she calls Mama Mountain, the children's faces are turned away, obscured, carefully protected from the cameras that have followed their mother for years. That choice, the daily, active, consistent choice to keep her children's faces private, is itself a statement about what Meghan has learned from her own experience inside the royal institution and from watching what public exposure did to the people she loves. Do not go anywhere. Subscribe to Royal Report Daily and turn on notifications, because what comes next is about the parenting philosophy Harry and Meghan have built together. And it is more intentional than most people realize. In their Netflix documentary Harry and Meghan, both parents spoke candidly about what they want their approach to raising children to look like. And what they said was rooted directly in their own experiences of childhood and family. Harry said, "What is most important for the two of us is to make sure that we do not repeat the same mistakes that perhaps our parents made." He said he wanted a family, not an institution. And he said that his deepest hope was that his children would have meaningful relationships with members of the royal family. He repeated that in his conversation with People magazine in 2023, saying he would love nothing more than for Archie and Lilibet to have relationships with members of his family, and that where they do, it brings him great joy. Meghan's approach to motherhood has been described, in her own words and in the words of people who have observed her family, as deeply present. She does school drop-off. She does toy store runs. She cooks. She bakes. She gardens. The With Love Meghan Netflix show, whatever its commercial performance, showed a woman who is genuinely at home in her kitchen, genuinely comfortable with mess and imperfection, genuinely invested in the domestic life she has built. And she has spoken about the emotional dimension of parenting with an honesty that goes beyond social media performance. In a Mother's Day Instagram post, she wrote, "To these 2 gems who still attempt to climb Mama Mountain, smother me with kisses and make every day the most memorable adventure. Being your mom is the greatest privilege of my life." Those are not words you can fake. They are words you write when the feeling behind them is real. Now let us talk about the question that sits underneath all of this warmth. The question that Meghan herself cannot answer yet, and that only time will resolve. What happens when Archie and Lilibet grow up? What happens when they are old enough to search their own names online? Old enough to read Spare? Old enough to watch the Oprah interview? Old enough to ask their mother why they do not know their cousins? Old enough to ask their father why he left a family he clearly still loves? Royal author Phil Dampier, speaking to The Sun's Fabulous magazine, raised this question directly. He said, "It is something Archie and Lilibet are missing out on, and you just wonder if in years to come, When they grow up, they will start asking their parents why they are estranged from the royal family. That is a genuine question, and there is no comfortable answer to it. Meghan has worked hard to give her children privacy, safety, normalcy, and a mother who is present and emotionally available in ways that contrast sharply with what Harry experienced in his own royal childhood. These are real gifts, but she cannot protect them from the complexity of who they are. They carry royal blood. They carry Diana's name. They are the grandchildren of a king who, by every account, loves them and has not seen them in 4 years. And one day, probably sooner than anyone is ready for, they will have to decide for themselves what their relationship to all of that looks like. Here is something that deserves to be said clearly. Meghan Markle is not a perfect mother. No one is. She is a woman raising 2 young children in an extraordinarily unusual situation. Global fame, ongoing family estrangement, a business under pressure, a marriage under scrutiny, a media environment that has treated her with less fairness than almost any public figure of her generation. She is doing it, by all available evidence, with genuine love and genuine intention. The emails she is writing to her children, the faces she keeps out of photographs, the toy store runs, the Mama Mountain, the Disneyland trips, the Easter baskets with sea monkeys and Magic Rabbit playing cards. These are the details of a mother who is paying attention, who is present, who understands, perhaps more than most people in her position would, that the extraordinary circumstances of her life do not change the ordinary requirements of parenthood. You show up. You pay attention. You tell your children you love them. You write it down, so they will have it forever, even on the days when you are not there to say it. And whatever happens next, with as ever, with the Sussex brand, with Harry's security battles, with the estrangement from the palace, those emails will still exist. Those children will still, one day, open them. And they will know that through everything their mother navigated, through all the headlines and the palace politics and the global scrutiny, she was thinking about them. Specifically, personally, in her own words. Every single day. This is Royal Report Daily. And this is the Meghan story we wanted to tell. That is all for tonight's investigation on Royal Report Daily. If this video made you think, made you feel, or made you see this story differently, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it means everything to this channel. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on notifications, because we post new investigations every week and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Share this video with one person who follows the royal story, because the more people who know the real truth, the better. I'm your host. This has been Royal Report Daily. Stay informed, stay royal, and I will see you in the next one. She has been writing them emails since the day they were born. They do not know yet. Subscribe to Royal Report Daily, and be here when the next chapter of this family's story unfolds.